Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about everyday occurrences that pose a health risk to your pets. Now remember, I am not a professional, I am only a hobbyist. I'm talking from experience and from my own research. So I do ask that everybody does their own research, take everything with a grain of salt because nothing's going to work for everyone. You need to find your own way. I'm just hoping that my advice can kind of help you find your way to what does work. So the first thing I want to talk about is power outages. And the reason I want to start here is because in this tank we did have an issue. This Sunday we had a power outage, and this is Wilson's tank. He's my oldest betta fish. And his tank mate Philippe is an Amano shrimp. And we just had a power outage. It lasted for about 30 minutes and then we had another one. Well, it's very hot here in Louisiana, so we decided to go out, get some Starbucks, have a nice little evening, and come back home, and the power would be back on. That was our idea. It wasn't storming, there was no reason for the power to be out, we just figured there was an overload somewhere. Fast forward, and it was about 4 hours, and we found out the power had just come back on. And unfortunately, Amano shrimp need oxygen. Betta fish have a labyrinth organ and they can surface breathe, so I knew they'd be okay. Well, Amano shrimp do not. Much like a lot of other aquatic animals, they do need oxygen in the water. We never thought that the power would be out for more than an hour at most, and they should be okay in that length of time unless they are very delicate fish, saltwater fish, or another creature that needs a lot of oxygen in the water. A shrimp can generally live in brackish water, and if you know what that is, it's very dirty water. It's half salt, half clean water, and if you're from around here where we do have some brackish water, it's very dirty. It's not clean. You don't really want to go swimming in it. We do it anyway, but we still don't advise it. But, you know, there's still a lot of oxygen in that water. Unfortunately, his oxygen did deplete, and it did cause him to go into kind of a stress situation, and we're not so sure he's going to make it. But we have kind of corrected as much as we can by adding more oxygen to the water, making it easier on him, and we have seen some progress. We're hoping that means that he'll come back around, but unfortunately we can't be sure about it. It's been about 3 days, and right now he's hiding in his favorite spot, which is inside Wilson's barrel. They like to hang out in there together, which is kind of weird, but I'm fine with it. They can be what they want to be. But that is something to consider if you keep fish or other aquatic animals, that if they have to breathe the oxygen through the water, to be prepared for power outages. Have a backup air pump, have a backup generator for your tanks, something along those lines. Figure out what works best for your home and employ that. So the next thing I want to talk about is everyday chemicals. Things like hair gel, hand lotion, skin moisturizer, these kinds of things. We put those on. A lot of people put them on every day. I know I don't moisturize my skin every day, but a lot of people do. You do use a little hair chemical, maybe do something like that. When you do this, you are not only putting chemicals on anything you touch, but as well as yourself. So even if you wash your hands, if you go and you touch your skin again and you get that chemical back on your hand, you go into your animal's room and you touch them. You can cause burns to their skin, you can clog pores if you have any frogs or anything. You can put poison into the water of your fish tanks, and it's just not safe. So with that one, you just need to be aware of your actions prior to touching any of your animals. I mean, dogs, cats, they're usually okay with those chemicals unless they have an allergic reaction, which I have seen happen. It happened to a pit bull that my brother owned, and he got a little burn on him from, I believe it was a hair gel. He had an allergic reaction to that. And it's very hard to treat a very skittish, scared pit bull that's been rescued from a burn, because now it's just scared and it's in pain. It doesn't know what you're doing. So you need to be very careful. So the next thing is aerosol cans. And I'm just going to say overall aerosol cans to shorten this. So aerosol cans are extremely dangerous for all types of animals. I mean, betta fish breathe air from the surface, so I spray aerosol in here and they come up and they grab some of that air. They're basically pulling that poison through their bodies. I have a gecko in this room. The dog likes to hang out in here. They breathe that in. Their lungs are not capable of pumping as well as ours. They don't filter quite as well, so obviously that can pose a very deadly risk for many reptiles. So make sure you definitely know about what reptile you're getting and what their lung capacity really is for things like that. You really shouldn't use them around your animal at all, but if necessary, and I don't know why it would be, just know what they can handle, know what chemicals are toxic to them to breathe in. Most aerosols are going to be. I know a lot of like air fresheners and things like that should never be used around them. So just be aware of what you're using when it comes to aerosols. Hairsprays are toxic to us, and we have two giant lungs. So when you look at a lot of snakes that have basically one lung, that's some pretty deadly poison when you think about it like that. So the next one is cleaning products, and this seems like you shouldn't really have to think about it too much. People know better than to use a cleaning product around their animals. You're not just going to pour bleach on something, but you do have to clean the room that you keep your animals in, especially if you keep some dirty waste producing animals such as bunny rabbits or ducklings, things like that, birds. You have to clean their tanks, you have to clean their cages, their enclosures, the carpets, the floor. So you need to be very, very cautious using cleaning chemicals in your pet enclosures. I use Wipeout for my gecko's cage. It's made by ZooMed. It works very well, but you do have to remove it. You have to make sure that everything is very well ventilated while you're doing this and that your reptile is not within range of that. I have another chemical that's all natural that I use for the glass of the fish tanks, and on the interior I actually just use a scrub and that's it. So I have done my research on that. So I'm sorry if you found this video kind of boring. I will be doing a lot more fun videos in the future and even some vlogs. I plan to do that. I've never truly vlogged, but I plan to try. If you would like to have any input on what you would like to see in the future or some pet care videos that you'd really like to see to help you out, feel free to message me on my other social medias that will be linked down below, as well as leave a comment on this video letting me know what you'd like to see. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my other social medias. I'm very active and I will be making updates about Philippe as it goes along on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for watching.